What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. I hope you are having an incredible day. And I'm excited to welcome you to the Shred Show with me, Josh Spitz, and our very special guest, Jason Noble with Security America Mortgage. And we're talking about something today. We've talked about it a little bit before, but we're actually going to be, we have Jason here going to be talking about the one-time close program with AFR and how he's really been able to niche with this product and really crush it within his business. But before we get into that, for all those who are joining us live, make sure you comment because we have the one-time close. Make sure you comment hashtag one-time close down below. That means you're live with us. And then if you're joining us on the replay, you're not watching us live, make sure you comment hashtag shred. So with that, let's jump right into, hey, Jason, thanks so much for taking some time, man. We really appreciate you joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
So before we get into all this, because I'm really excited to talk about how you've really used the one-time close program in your business. But for those who don't know, Jason Noble and Security America Mortgage, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the business, and tell us a little bit about Security America.
Okay, so Security America has been in business for 11 years now.
Wow.
I've been with the company for 7 of those 11 years. We actually started the company, the founders actually started the company in 2008, right as everything was happening in the market. We were well-versed in government lending before the economic crash. So we wanted to start a company that focused on helping veterans. That's basically why we started, because there was a need in the market to educate not only the veterans, but also bring in loan officers who were looking to try and figure out what to do during that time period. So we did. So we've been off and running since then. We specialized in VA purchases. And of course, we cover all products, FHA, USDA, conventionals, non-prime. I mean, we do, of course, we expanded into everything. But that eventually, through just natural process, we got a lot of veterans asking us for VA construction loans throughout the years. There was a big demand in the market, but there was not a lot to fulfill the demand, at least not efficiently. So that kind of led us into VA construction lending, then FHA, USDA, et cetera. I've been with the company since, like I said, for 7 years, but since that time period, I've been a loan officer for about 16 out of those 7 years. And I mean, basically we've made our business in VA lending. So it was natural that when we got people, asking about the product, that we try to find a way to fulfill that need. And so that's what led us into dealing with AFR, Laura, the OTC team, the whole nine.
Nice. And now let's get into that, because you've really taken that, like you said, with veterans, especially, which is so very cool. The mission that you guys are on and what you're accomplishing is truly one of those, no pun intended with the last name, but a noble cause, which is actually pretty cool, which I see what you guys are doing. I've heard a lot from Laura, and I'm excited to talk about this in particular. So how have you used the one-time close in particular to really help you grow your business and to really niche? Because this is a very niche market. Not only are you focusing on the one-time close, but veterans in particular. So how have you used that one-time close program within your business?
So there are several different answers to that question, right?
Perfect.
So one of the ways, like I said, we use it. The first way was years ago. I mean, we're talking 5, 6, 7 years ago. We got a lot of questions about VA construction lending. It just really wasn't out there on the market, right? So we were literally either trying to convert those customers into doing a purchase of an existing home, or we were referring them out to banks that maybe could do something similar to a VA construction loan. But what we found was that the banks were offering what you kind of would know as a regular construction loan, like a conventional construction loan, so to speak. And then they were refinancing it into a VA permanent financing loan at the end of it, whatever it might be, 30-year, 15-year fixed VA loan.
Right.
So we found that we were losing not only the customer, because we were giving them we're giving those construction inquiries to other banks and other lenders that would do them, but then we were also a lot of times losing the permanent refinance at the end of the deal. So we figured out, hey, quickly, our marketing was working, but we needed to figure out a way to be able to offer a true VA construction loan to veterans. So we did. We essentially started off very slowly because we needed to know the product, because again, there wasn't a lot of knowledge in the product back then in the space, and there certainly wasn't a lot of lenders that were offering it, right?
No.
So that's where we started. We started with basically filling out the need for just inquiries. And then what happened was, as time kind of grew on, and honestly, when we met with AFR, that's when we really started to actually market the program a little bit heavier, just because our faith in the previous lending establishment that we were sending them to, we weren't really confident in the process. And so we were very hesitant to market to people. If somebody inquired, we would explain to them what was going on and how to do it. And then we would also tell them, hey, listen, this is the process. If you want to go through this process, this is what to expect. But then once we got with AFR, things changed pretty dramatically. Their process they've gone 100% into the program. And that's what has actually motivated us to actually go into the space all hands in. I mean, we've gone into marketing, we've gone into not only originating our regular inquiries that come in and being confidently able to convert them into construction loans and being able to tell people, hey, we know the process and we can close this deal. But now we actually have a partner that we know we can rely on. And that was really the big deal. So now it went from just kind of filling a need from, just basic inquiries, referral partners, et cetera, into now we actually have a business model. And then, of course, when rates were changing and things were happening during the 2018 calendar year, it was always handy to have another program in your pocket, another program for volume. And, if rates go up, I mean, we're not, we're doing purchase business. We're not a refi heavy shop by any stretch of the imagination. But when rates go up, I mean, we're offering purchase products, but also construction products, which is a really good product to offer to people, especially if you know the product. If you know the product, there is a tremendous need for mortgage professionals to offer this product. There's a lot of people out there who want to build their own home. They just don't know what to do. And if you're able to get a hold of that person, their agents, etc., you can educate them. And that rapport that you build with that person is usually a rapport that even if they decide not to build, they will still stay with you for other financing. And that's another benefit to it. So those were kind of the two primary motivating factors. Originally, it was just we had a lot of veterans who were asking about the program, so we would offer it. But then we went into marketing it once we got with AFR because we saw that we could actually produce an outcome that would satisfy everybody involved.
Well, you were finally confident. You finally knew that you had a program that you could count on. And that's, I think, every originator, every real estate agent who has played the game, when it comes to like a construction loan, we've all been there. Like, it is very you never really know. There was a couple lenders. I mean, as long as I've been in originating, there was a couple lenders out there doing construction loans, construct a perm. And it was one of those processes where you were never super confident. And now that AFR, they've niched in this and they really focused on it because there are originators and there are companies like yourself who are like, hey, we see a need, we want to fill it. And now you've had a partnership with AFR to really go deep with not only veterans, but those who are looking to use the one-time close program to build a home. So I think and I've seen clearly, even just hearing you talk about it for the last few minutes, you can see that something you're passionate about. You're helping so many people. And something you mentioned as well, whether they end up using you for the one-time close program because you have that option available, you have that opportunity for them, whether they go that route or not, you've built that rapport, you've built that relationship with them. So that opens up doors in the future. But I want to come back to the veteran side of it really quick, because I had no idea there was a VA construction program out there. Like until I met Laura and AFR, I had no idea. So when I started hearing like, hey, people have been using this for a couple of years now, and then there's guys like yourself who are really like helping veterans upon veterans build a home, because most of us, again, as a originator, I've been doing this for a long time. I had no idea it even existed. So now you're able to share that. And as we all know, those who work in the veteran community they become very loyal. So I'm sure that you've seen, as you've helped veterans, they've referred you out to other veterans as well.
Yes, that is another benefit to it. You do a good job by people, and they refer you more people. Of course, that's the benefit. I think the more important thing is that there's so much misinformation online and out there in the marketplace. Is that if you can have the conversation with the veteran and you can confidently portray the product as it is, what the pros, the cons, the whole nine, right? If you can get them to understand it and have that conversation, the confidence in yourself grows, and then they just want to know what you would do. And so
absolutely,
at that point, so what we all know is, right, you want to get the customer, right? Then once you have them, you want to offer them your expertise. But then if for some reason it doesn't fit because, the product just isn't what they want or what they thought or whatever,
Sure.
Now you have a customer, and now that customer is yours. And so whether that's they go and buy an existing home, or they say, hey, Jason, and this has happened quite a bit too. Hey, we currently have a home and we have X rate on it. We'd like to refinance that home. Do you do that too? And then of course the answer is absolutely we do. And so the one-time closed construction loan in as far as veterans and being loyal, all of that is true. But besides that, and they refer there, at this point now we've got, friends and family. Now we've done enough of them where it's naturally and organically grown to where you have that, their friends and family doing it. And even people who ride around in the areas where, sometimes lots are available and we've done a loan, they'll stop and talk to a homeowner and they'll say, oh, hey, call this guy because he did our deal. And and so it grows through that way too. And then you're right. And you go to these VSOs or the veteran support organizations. And, I had another video conference last week with the veteran support organization because they didn't think that the product was actually real. And so they brought me in on video, and there was like 15 people in the room, and they said, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. And so through that, and I got everybody's contact information. So I've entered them to our CRM. And so now we're staying in touch with them, and eventually something will come up. It's a long play, but it's a way to continue to market yourself in a way that you would not have before.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, but you got to know the product so that way you can speak confidently about it.
So that's the next point I want to talk about, because a lot of times when we talk about these niche programs, these niche products with lenders especially, is the biggest concern about originators is like, well, I have to learn a new product. I have to go and spend all this time. Was it really difficult to become an expert at the one-time close program?
I suppose in the same way that being an expert in anything is difficult. You have to kind of go through it to really know it. And unfortunately, the type of product that this is, there's so many scenarios that can happen. There's so many things that you just can't, just like on a purchase deal. If you brought a brand new loan officer off the street and you trained them as best as you could in a 2-month window and continued support, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter how much information you gave them. That first scenario is going to come up and go, well, we never covered this in training.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same thing in construction lending. But you do have to be flexible with the amount of parties that you have in a transaction. Because now you're dealing with the builder, You're dealing with their people, borrowers, potential other service providers involved. And so it's much more of a team effort. So instead of you being able to sell your services to the customer alone, what I found is that what's important is not that you be a level 10 expert. It's more that you be able to contact your builder or your realtor, and you at least be able to prepare them so they know what to expect. So
love that.
Was it difficult? There were difficult moments for sure, because you're dealing with something where you don't know what to do, how to do it. So yes, there were moments where you go, okay, now I've got a whole brand new problem I've never been faced with. How do I solve it? But I don't think that that's unlike any other product where you're going into it for the first time. You have to learn it. And when you start to do it, you go, oh, wow, I didn't know that. And now you learn something new. And it's another little informational point that you put into your little bulletins that you send out to people. And then you continue adding to it. You just got to get into it, and you got to read the guidelines. But also what I suggest to people is find a mentor. Find somebody who can mentor you. Because if I would go back to when we first started, say even a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I would have said, I would have reached out, who has been doing these that knows how to do them. And
nice.
And I would have set up a relationship with that person, and that would have been my go-to for those scenarios. So my thing is with people, you don't have to be an expert, right? Be educated, but get a mentor. Get somebody who you trust who's doing it. Whether it's outside of your company or whatever, they're going to help you in situations where you may not have that help available. Experience help, right? So that's what I would say to that.
So that is an incredible answer, because so many times within our industry, and why I pose the question is people are like, well, that takes too much time. I'm just going to stay what I'm good at. And sure, you can do that. But again, you've seen, and the examples that you've given, if you really want a niche, if you want to find some place where there's not a lot of people right now. And what's really cool, ladies and gentlemen, if everybody listening to this, Jason's kind of giving away. Everybody's so scared to give away their secret playbook or their secrets. Jason's kind of laying it out here for you, ladies and gentlemen. He's not scared because he knows he's taking the time. You mentioned not becoming the expert, Jason, but you really have become, one of the experts within the space now. And I love that you say, is it difficult? like anything in our industry, you have to be willing to educate yourself. You have to be willing to put some time to really learn, become knowledgeable on it, so you don't have to fumble all over yourself. But I would assume this from hearing you talk about it, Jason, it's absolutely been worth it. It's worth taking the time and really getting to know it. The fact that you mentioned finding a mentor, I think that's brilliant. Having somebody who's learned, who's gone before you, and can help you and walk you through some of those, some of those speed bumps that you maybe experience, like, hey, watch for this, this, and this. These are some things you're definitely going to experience along the road. Just expect them. But again, going back to this, I think it's something that you would clearly say it's been worth it for your business, getting to know and getting to learn this product.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the learning curve. If you're new to that kind of lending, the learning curve is there for sure.
Sure.
But it's not like anything else. I mean, you just learn it. You learn it. You stick to it. Don't give up on it. Put a plan in place. Be realistic with your plan. Work your plan, and it will pay off. It's a great product. I mean, it's a great product. And here's the bigger thing. It's not about, do you want to learn a new product? The question is, do you want to grow your business?
Love that.
That's really, I mean, it's not, so we're not, if you're going to grow your business, but you're doing the exact same thing, so then, okay, you're looking at trying to, some other activities to do it, right? Which obviously you need to do too. But I think another way is add more products, as much as you can handle with being good at what you do. And I think the one-time close, if you look at it, especially for those of us who were in the game when the recession happened and all that, this is a one-time close. So it's different than the construction products that were out there prior to that almost immediately went away when the turn happened, right? This is a one-time close, so you don't have to worry about second appraisals. You don't have to worry about requalification. You don't have to worry about, if somebody's credit score changes 6 months after you've closed, but before they close on their, their second deal. So the concern about construction lending, as far as that goes, has all been taken care of by closing once. So for me, when I looked at it, I said, wow, as long as you can get them into closing, right? You as an originator have, at that point, you've accomplished your goal, which is getting your customer whatever that one-time close product is. And then at that point, it's just servicing after the fact. But you know that the probability of some sort of issue coming up after the fact, no matter what happens to the market, is very limited, very limited. And I think that's another thing for me, having been through that with everybody else who did, is that if I was, construction, no, that doesn't sound good, because I was there when it happened. So I saw immediately it was gone. Well, with this product, they've taken away that concern. So,
absolutely.
I think it's adding more products is a good thing. And I think if you're going to grow your business, adding more products is key, especially as we move forward. Competition is there. You got to have something. And again, think about this as not only offering a construction product, but think about it as a new way to market to people that you didn't before.
Bingo.
I don't think that some of the conversations that I've had, including the one I'm having right now, I would not have had these had I had not added a product.
Right. It's just opening new opportunity for you. It's adding 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, how many more loans that you didn't have already. And that's, again, it's just allowing yourself. One of the things that in this industry, especially, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. Like, this isn't a product that you knew, but you were willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, learn something new. And now it has exponentially increased your business opportunities that you have. So that's what to me, and you said a couple of times, that's what we need to be doing in this industry. You have to set yourself apart. Competition is growing. So finding those little ways to set yourself apart is absolutely brilliant. And I want to kind of touch on this. You mentioned it, but this is also open opportunities with builders as well. You mentioned builders a few minutes ago, but this is also open to new opportunities for working with builders as well.
Correct. So builders are obviously a key part to construction. So,
absolutely.
And you have to have their buy-in. Even let's just say in a scenario where you were referred a client who said, let's just say there's somebody who wants this product, right? Mm-hmm. Whether they have a builder or do not have a builder, you're still going to have to communicate with that builder. You're still going to mostly, unless they're already approved to participate in the program and know how it works, you're going to have to do a little bit of sales there too, because it's a new relationship and you have to put yourself in the builder's shoes. Right. I want to build a house. I don't want to be overly concerned about the borrower's financing. I want it to be easy. They want it to be easy, just like everybody wants everything to be easy, right? So easy is a subjective word. So you have to be able to not convince them that something is easy or not easy. You have to be able to say, hey, this is how the program works. Is this something that sounds interesting to you? Because if so, there are a lot of people in the local markets that are not aware of this type of financing. If you're able to reach out to other people, then you might be able to build another 1-2 homes. Or if you're dealing with a larger builder, you say, hey, this is how you can build more homes. You add to your products, because right now you're doing this little box. Okay, well, if you want to build more homes, well, that little box likely is only going to grow if you can attract more customers.
Bingo.
So so you have to look at, and a lot of these builders are business minded, right? So you have to not approach this from a, hey, the Joneses want to use me and they want to use you, so let's be team. You have to go, listen, man, this is a one deal that we're doing now, but in order to make this worth all of our while, especially us as business people, we want to go further than that. I don't want to do just the Jones with you. I want you to do the Smiths and the Johnsons, and like, we need to continue moving after this. This is how it works. And so you build the relationship with them by explaining to them how the program works, so that they then can say, okay, this is good. Because if they get it, most of them get excited about it and say, oh, I know people who I've turned away or who I can't get through my current bank that this might be in for. Like, they could do this. And then literally, if you have that conversation, you will get leads out of it. It's just like talking to any referral partner. It's the same thing.
I was gonna say, exactly. What builder would not be excited about adding another product? Maybe they are a smaller builder and they only have a limited line with their financing in their bank. And now you're coming to them with this opportunity. This could literally help them double the homes they're building. This could be one of those opportunities where you said, Jason, you're actually adding value to them. You're not just like, hey, let's do another transaction together. Let's actually go out and let's build something more. Let's take your portfolio from what you're doing now and let's add 5 homes or 10 homes or whatever it is, depending on the size of the builder. And that's going to be absolutely attractive to them. You just came up with a solution. That's what we're all about, is providing solutions, not only to builders, but to veterans, to consumers. And Jason, I think that's the entire underlying message of everything you've shared today. Is it's not just one facet of your business that's been affected. It's builders, it's veterans, it's consumers, and it's opened up so many new doors and so many new opportunities in the small amount of time that you've been working with this program. And that's why I think it's such an impactful program right now. And that's why we typically don't talk a lot about programs and different things on the show, but this is one of those that truly, I mean, you can see from Jason what it's done for him and his business, that it's absolutely working. And you can see too, Jason, the way you talk about it, the way you share it, it's truly something that you can get behind. You have confidence in AFR, you have confidence in the program that it's going to close, and it's going to help ultimately further those relationships that you have with your consumers, with your clients, with your friends, your family, the people that you're working with. So, man, I cannot thank you enough for coming on and sharing some of these incredible tips, some of these strategies, some of these things that you have done, and really appreciate you willing to dive into the secrets of what you've been doing in your business. So thanks so much for joining us this morning, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Guys, as you can clearly see, the one-time close program with AFR, Jason and Security America Mortgage, they're doing incredible things with it. They're helping veterans, they're helping consumers, they're helping builders. You have to be willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, be willing to learn a little bit, and like Jason said, find a mentor, reach out to Laura, reach out to the AFR team so you can find someone that can help you understand it, so you can add this to your repertoire, can add this to your toolbox to help as many people as you can achieve the American dream of owning a home. With that, guys, we appreciate you. We love you. Make sure you show up, you hustle, you repeat every day, just like Jason. See you guys.